Well, good afternoon and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today is August the 3rd, a couple of days from my 61st birthday, and a couple of weeks ago, just coming up a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video on the channel for those of you that subscribe and watch the channel regularly, because I was deliberating on whether I should change my beautiful and much loved BMW R1250GS TE for a brand new BMW R1250GS Adventure Exclusive TE. And I'd been out on a test ride, and I'll reference that video up here on a card so that you can check it out and see what my deliberations were between what are seen to be two very, very similar bikes. But I asked for comments, and you were all very kind and rattled through on comments, some of you questioning whether I was really deliberating or whether I'd already made a decision. I genuinely hadn't already made a decision, although I have made a decision now, which will be coming up later. A lot of you gave huge, great replies, which are fantastic, because there were a lot of things in there that not even I'd considered, and people asking about height and of me, and overall weight, those types of things that maybe you wouldn't see on just a short test ride. Many of you have gone from GSs to GSAs. Some of you have gone straight in at GSAs and you wouldn't change. Some of you have gone from GSAs back down to GSs. Some have gone on GSs and stayed on GSs. And let me tell you, the GS is a fabulous bike. For those of you that might diss BMW R1250GSs in any guise, I challenge you to go and test ride one, because I know a considerable number of people who didn't want to like BMW R1250GSs went and test rode them and have ended up riding them. One is my best mate Sean, who is riding a BMW R1250GS Exclusive, who actually didn't want to like that particular bike, and now he absolutely loves it. All of that said, and all of those deliberations taken into account, again, thanks for the comments, and I did try and reply to as many as I possibly could. The decision that I've made is that I will be buying the BMW R1250GS Adventure Exclusive TE, and for all the reasons and lots of reasons that other people gave me, and the fact that you're going to lose money. So I'm never going to make money on a motorcycle. I've not got huge numbers of motorcycling years left, so I'd like to try and get a few more iterations of bikes in if I possibly can, and I'm very lucky to be in a position to be able to do that. So to run through a few of the things here, for those of you that don't understand the TE concept, because it is a UK and possibly a European thing, but certainly I know that in the US and Australia, and I have quite a few subscribers from there, that TE isn't a thing. The TE signification basically gives you a bike which has pretty much everything you would normally specify on the bike, which is sometimes added in some markets as packs, so comfort packs or sports packs. So for example, if you bought my bike, which is a BMW R1250GS TE, that came with TFT screen, keyless ride, pro riding modes, shifter up, shifter down, ESA, suspension, heated grips, those types of things. And there's actually very few options you can buy. In fact, the only worthwhile options on the bike I currently have, I actually took, and those were the SOS button, the BMW factory fitted alarm, and the blue paint colour as opposed to the sort of grey and black colour. Those were the three options that I took, and I think really the only other than going into sports exhausts and chrome exhausts and those types of things, I think the only real worthwhile other option which I didn't have was the comfort seat, and certainly my seat is as comfortable as you could probably want on a motorcycle. But both of the bikes that I've had, the current one and the one I'm getting, are both having that TE specification. So for that, read that it comes pretty well fully loaded. Now what I did for my price comparison, and some may well say, well, you're just trying to justify the cost of it, Nick, is I did realise too that if I were to have bought an Adventure before I bought the GS, actually they're near enough £2,000 more expensive in any case. So I've sort of discounted that, both from my own point of view and I guess for what I would tell the wife as well, but you may well put that back in. But let's just have a quick look at the numbers. So what I did is I took my bike, the BMW R1250GS TE, and I respecified it today. So if I bought that bike with the blue paint, with the factory fitted alarm, with the SOS button, which are the options that I have, that bike would have cost me £17,285. If I were to take, or I am taking, the BMW R1250GS Adventure Exclusive TE, and I'm having 4 options on that, not 3. The 4 options I'm having are the factory fitted alarm, the SOS button, both of those are the same as I had previously. I'm having the gold wheels, they're spoked wheels with rims, so the gold rims, just because I thought they went nice with the gold calipers of the exclusive design. And I'm having the frame guards, both relatively cheap, inexpensive options for BMW. So those are the 4 options I'm having, and that bike is coming to me at £19,105. Now, that's a difference of 1,820 quid. So effectively what I'm saying, that's to me a sort of a discount. As I say, read it however you like, and throughout all of these, if you add on the 1,820 quid, you're getting nearer to what I'm actually spending. But effectively, had I have had an Adventure 2 years ago, I'd have been £2,000 more out of pocket, is my point. My trade-in, I'm getting 13,050 quid. Now, I'm doing the deal at North Oxford Garages in Oxford. They're 70 miles from home and by no means the closest dealer. There's probably 2 or 3 closer than that. But they've always done me very well. They've always done me good deals. I just think if I keep going there, then they're at least going to try their best to give me the deal. And I'm relatively happy, although I'm going to chin out, I'm relatively happy with the deal that I've actually got. So they've given me £13,050 on my bike. Now, I believe that's £1,000 extra over what the bike is worth, which they're putting £500 and BMW are putting £500. And it's basically a deal. They're doing £1,000 extra on your trade-in on any R signification model bike. So normally I'd have got about 12,000 quid, and I was thinking somewhere between 12 and 12 and a half, so I'm pretty happy with 13,050. It is being traded in with my Wunderlich crash bars, and I'll reference my fitting of those crash bars for your own reference again on a card up here on the right. The reason being, I don't need the crash bars on the new bike. They come fitted with engine bars and upper bars, so I won't be needing them, so I'll go back with the Wunderlich bars. It'll also go back with the Vario luggage, and something I'd really love you to give me some more comments on, and you gave me some great comments in the first place, but I'm trying to garner more information now, is I will be putting aluminium luggage on the Adventure, whereas I had the plastic Vario panniers, which were very good, and as I say, I'll reference them because I've got that and the inner liners, so I'll reference that on a card up here on the right. But very, very good, but I just think the Adventure looks better with the metal ones, and at the moment I'm heading towards the Givi Trekker Outback system. But we'll go into that in a second. So that gives me a balance, if I discount my 1,820 difference between the standard GS and the Adventure, that brings me down to a balance of £4,235. Of course, that still means I'm actually giving the dealer £6,000, if I'm truthful. The accessories with the standard Givi setup is about £1,665, meaning that balance is £5,900. Now, there are some things I can genuinely discount because my bike is 2 years old on November the 2nd, and here in the UK we pay what we call a road fund licence or road tax, and that's every year we have to pay the government, depending on engine size, depending on emissions and those types of things. We pay a charge, and on my bike currently and on the new bike, that's £92 a year. So the price of the new bike includes the £92 road tax, road fund licence, which I would have had to have paid in November. So effectively that's a £92 saving. Also, the new bike comes with a Data Tool Track King Adventure tracker. Now, I bought that on my GS. I'm going to have it taken off and swapped onto a Sean, my friend's bike, but that also attracts £109 a year annual subscription. On the new bike, it comes fitted with that self-same tracker. BMW now put a plug in the wiring harness to fit that Data Tool Track King Adventure tracker in the UK, and it comes with a £109 subscription. So effectively the tracker is fitted to the bike free. I'm sure it's not, it's included in the price, but the £109 first year subscription is also paid for. So there will also be a couple of accessories I won't be refitting to the bike. The Denali CanSmart Canbus controller Generation 1 and the light bracket for the D4 Denali lights, and that's because the bracket won't actually fit the Adventure. There's a different bracket for the Adventure from the standard GS, and also the CanSmart is now available in Generation 2, and there's a couple of features that I quite like on the Generation 2 where I'm going to actually swap out the Generation 1 for the Generation 2. Now that does mean I've got those two items to sell, and also I'm hoping in a video shortly when I get the new bike to do a little bit of a collaboration with the YouTube channel The Bike Thing, and we're going to hopefully have a look at fitting of the Generation 2 CanSmart and the Denali lights onto the new bracket. So but we'll come to that in a video into the future. But I reckon that all of that is a saving of about 492 quid with what I'm saving and what I'm able to sell those couple of bits of accessories I'm not refitting to the bike, approximately 492 quid. So that brings a net figure down to £5,408. Of course, if you put in the £1,800 back in, you can work it out for yourself. You're at about £7,200. But another couple of savings that I genuinely can say I'm going to make, in about 1,500 miles I'm going to need a new tyre on my current bike, which is 150 quid. Of course I'll have new tyres on this one, and also it's coming up for its 2-year service, which is about a £300 service. It's the third service. You have the first one, then you have one at a year and a third one at the second year, and I reckon that's going to be about 300 quid. So there's about an additional £450 saving there. So forgetting the 1,800, or not forgetting, but let's include the £1,820 difference in the price of the bike, the net cost to me is about 5,000 quid, or about 7,000 quid if you include the fact that I'm getting a £2,000 additional bike, if you like. So that's it. That's the full rundown of what it is. Watch this space for the 1st of September when I get the bike, and hopefully we'll be able to do a video of me maybe collecting that and riding it back down here, so the first ride, if you like, and we'll gradually fit the accessories back to it and show you those as well. Onto the luggage. I've got 3 choices. I am heading towards the Givi at the moment, and part of the reason for that is the Trekker Outback range comes with 2 sizes of top box, and listen to Mr. Moneybags here, I'm very fortunate. I'm tempted to buy both boxes. They both fit on the same rack, which is fitted to the bike, so they're interchangeable. But I do like the idea of having at least a big top box, both for the longer tours and for 2 crash helmets. And I know people will say, well, you can get 2 crash helmets by putting one in the smaller box and one in the larger pannier, but I am heading in that direction, and so I'm looking maybe at buying I think it's the 48 litre left hand pannier, the 37 litre right hand pannier, the rack that they go on, because obviously the right hand pannier goes over the exhaust, so it's a slightly smaller pannier, both top boxes, which I think are 48 and 52 or 42 and 58. I think it's 42 and 58 litre, and I will also with that probably put the toolbox on the inside of the larger pannier. Now the other systems that I am considering are the SW Motec Trax Adventure. Now I think they do one called Trax Evo, which is slightly lesser materials and it's riveted as opposed to welded, those types of changes. Very similar in size, but what I do like about the SW Motec is that the rack that the cases fit onto are also held by 4 quarter turn twist locks, which you need a screwdriver for, but if you're not using the panniers, it's very easy to detach the scaffolding that they go on, which I think just adds to the bike. If you're just using it as a day bike, slip the top box on and just take those pannier racks off, and you only need your pannier racks on there when you're actually touring. The other ones that I am considering, which came out in the comments last time, which I've never heard of before, is Bumot, B-U-M-O-T. They're Bulgarian, I think. They are a little more agricultural, but they're certainly incredibly well made. 2mm aluminium as opposed to most of the other mass-produced ones at 1.5. The other advantage of them is they are advertised as dust and waterproof, as opposed to dust and water resistant. I'm not too worried about that, because I'd probably put inner bags in anyway, which helped to make it a little more waterproof. But what I was impressed on the Beaumont, and a lot of people have said this, is they do fit on the existing BMW rack. So the extra that you pay for the strength of the boxes is offset a little bit by the fact you don't have to buy a carrier, because the carrier, both from SW Motec and Givi, is in the region of 160 to 170 pounds. Anyway, that's what I'd need help on if you care to give me some comments. It's always nice to really receive comments anyway, most of which are probably going to be, I told you so. But anyway, there it is. It's another video. The bike comes on September the 1st. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you're looking forward to sharing that with me. Good to see you all again. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want to subscribe, please press the subscribe button. Hitting like always helps the channel in the ratings and helps us to get it to other viewers that are interested in BMW R1250GSs or even 1200GSs and the accessories that go with it. But once again, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.